There is a rule that locals repeat without smiling. On Mulholland Drive after midnight, no one should pick up hitchhikers. Mulholland runs like a narrow spine across the Hollywood Hills. On one side, the San Fernando Valley glows. On the other, the vast dark of Los Angeles pools and shivers with lights. The road is thin, the turns are sharp, the drop-offs are real. Coyotes pass as if the pavement belongs to them. Security lights burn over trimmed hedges. Engines whisper and then are gone. It is beautiful in a careful way, like a balcony without a railing. The legend begins with a car that slows for a figure in white dot no horns. No waving. Just a person standing still at the shoulder. White clothes that are plain rather than theatrical. Hands empty, head slightly bowed as if listening for the next set of tires. The figure does not raise a thumb. The invitation is not a gesture. It is the stillness. Drivers recognize a fellow human being and think of help. A door unlocks. The passenger seatbelt slides out with the soft sound of metal against fabric. The figure takes the seat. The passenger's voice is quiet and careful. Listeners disagree on the tone. Some hear a man, some hear a woman, some hear a voice without edges. The request is always the same, just down the road. The destination is never an address, but a name. The Bowl Overlook, the Second Curve, the Wind Gate. None of these appear on any app, yet the voice says them like common landmarks. The ride at first feels dull. The passenger sits very straight, hands folded, no phone, no restless feet. Only one small sound comes from the seat, an ordinary creak, the sound any cushion makes after accepting weight. The driver watches the line ahead and the white ribbon of headlights, and the city continues below like a bright, flat sea. Then the temperature changes. It is not the whole car. It is not the AC. It is a narrow band of cold that runs under the passenger belt and crosses the driver's shoulder, the exact chill of water in evening air. The dashboard shows the same number as before, yet the band of cold remains. The passenger does not react. A coyote cuts across the road and tires scrunch grit. The passenger speaks for the first time during the ride. They always do. The words are not a warning. They are a note. Street by street, the road moves past signs of midnight life floodlights on exotic plants, teenagers laughing too loudly at an empty turnout, a guardrail with fresh scrapes. The car climbs and ears pop, and the passenger says, "Here." The pull-off is small and easy to miss. It looks down on the dark shell of the Hollywood Bowl, the stage asleep and the parking lots pale in the distance. No other cars wait there. Only wind shifts along the hood and the engine ticks like a clock. The car stops. Normal etiquette would follow click, handle, door, footstep. None of these happen. The passenger door remains closed. The belt stays buckled. The seat is empty. Not clean empty. Recently empty. A shallow dip presses into the cushion, like weight lifted only a moment ago. 2 inches of the belt show a darker line, as if damp hair or a wet sleeve brushed it. The air seems to remember a person even though no dome light ever flickered, no door ever moved. Map and radio often behave strangely after this moment. Some drivers report that the radio stutters and repeats a phrase twice, as if a singer found an echo under a bridge and kept walking. Some watch their map switch to an old satellite image for a second and then restore itself. None of these details prove anything. They add texture to the same feeling. A presence has left without using a door. In other versions of the legend, the encounter continues. A little further down the hill, at the next turnout, the figure in white appears again. The posture is the same. The angle of the head is the same. The expression is not "help me." It is "you are late." Brakes flash. The door unlatches on its own. The belt offers itself. The figure is seated again before any decision feels made. The second ride returns to the very same notch in the road. The engine ticks. The night holds its breath. On the inside of the windshield, a crescent fog appears at eye level, like a quiet exhale. In the center of that fog, a coin-sized circle clears as though a fingertip touched glass and pressed lightly. The passenger speaks in that careful voice. Not angry, not pleading, just patient. The questions come in simple lines. Is this home? Drivers sometimes ask. Not anymore, the passenger answers. What is wanted? The voice says. Do you see it? The view below shows a slice of freeway lit in white movement. Far along the arc of Mulholland, a section of guardrail looks new. A shadow nearby could be stain, could be nothing. Most drivers answer honestly, a curve. The passenger replies, everyone sees the curve after. No one sees it before. Cars pass and sweep the turnout with their lights. When beams cross the empty seat, no body occupies it. When darkness returns, the seat is occupied again in the way that isn't. The selection of drivers seems strange and ordinary at once. The passenger offers one explanation within the story itself. Because you stopped. Because you slowed for the animal. Because you did not honk. Because you said sorry. The words carry no warmth, only a fairness that feels worse. The passenger is not choosing saints. The passenger is choosing someone who can be made to listen for 1 minute longer than average. The request remains modest. Don't speed there. Don't look at the phone. Don't trust the white. Anyone who drives mountain roads knows the warning. White headlights on fog, full white frames on a screen, pool light on wet tile can lie. Brightness does not equal vision. Then the passenger is gone. No click, no slam, no weight shift. Only the air keeps, still as if expecting another line of dialogue. The belt remains buckled. Pressing the red tab makes the metal tongue spit out with a clean little gasp. The damp mark on the strap may still be there. When touched, it feels colder than expected water that has not met sun. The road lets drivers leave. Engines settle. Maps behave. RADIO signals smooth out. Some drivers slow at the new guardrail without knowing why. The city lies quiet again and lets them pass. The legend does not end with one car. Mulholland collects versions of the same ride the way eucalyptus bark collects wind. One more layer, one more ripple. A gardener on a motorcycle hears two voices behind him during a downhill coast and finds no one there at the next light. A rideshare vehicle logs a drop-off at a turnout, none of the map's name, and the app displays a pale pin labeled only Bowl Overlook. A vintage car club drifts past after midnight. A member in the third car swears he saw a passenger in white in the lead car, even though that seat was empty each time anyone checked. Small details repeat, the fabric feels damp. Or it doesn't. Some find a strand of straight dark hair on the cushion. Some find nothing but a faint smell like dried eucalyptus. A few report an old-fashioned hatpin or a brass button under the edge of the seat playing metal dull shine belonging to no one. None of these items settle the story. They only pull it tighter around the same shape. Rational explanations gather and stand side by side. High-gain screens can reflect. Glass can bounce light and paint human shapes where none are. Air from floor vents can rise in a narrow plume and warm a cushion unevenly. A hand can feel temperature with a mind already prepared. The brain loves symmetry and fills empty places with familiar forms. Crowds lean forward toward light, and the eye completes the missing person between two living shoulders. All of this might be true. The legend does not fight these answers. The legend says something else beside them. Even when the explanations fit, the timing still hurts. The Mulholland Hitchhiker is not a tale of rage or chase. It is not a ghost that drags or shouts. It is a story of almost. The almost made corner. The almost sent message. The almost enough light. The almost question no one asked before the turn. The passenger in white arrives not to punish, but to hold a second still. A driver gives that second by doing nothing dramatic, by staying off the phone, by easing into a curve, by refusing the false courage of brightness. When the second passes, the passenger leaves. Those who meet the legend later in the month sometimes repeat a small habit without thinking. While riding along the ridge as passengers themselves, they breathe on the inside of a window. A fog ring appears. A fingertip makes a clean circle in the center. The habit surprises them. It also slows the car a fraction at the next bend. The legend finds this enough. No one knows who the figure in white was, or if there was ever a first name. Some link the turnout with the new guardrail to an accident recorded in a short article decades ago. Some point to the Bowles calendar and a stormy night that sent traffic snaking along alternate routes. Some avoid dates entirely and say only that the hills remember impact longer than people do. So the rule remains. On Mulholland after midnight, hitchhikers are left for daylight. The second rule is quieter, and in the story, more important. The white is not to be trusted. Full white screens, fog lit from within, sweating concrete under a floodlight, all of these look like help and behave like blindfolds. The figure in white tells drivers this, and for one steady mile is believed. When retold, the legend keeps its language simple. A driver, a figure in white, a narrow band of cold, a coin-clear circle in a fogged ring, a place without an address, a guardrail that looks new. The pattern is easy to hear and hard to forget. Fear rises not from claw marks or screams, but from the idea that a person can be late to a single ordinary second and never find it again. The city below continues to glitter. The coyotes continue to own the road. Teenagers continue to lean on hoods and laugh where sound does not belong. And on some nights, when wind slides across the hood and eucalyptus leans into its own shadow, a car will slow for a figure in white. The passenger seat will accept weight, the belt will click, and a voice that could belong to anyone will ask for a place with a name only the hills still use. The ride will be short. The warning will be plain. The second will arrive on time. Then the seat will be empty again.